Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you had a good week last week. Back again with another Monday grind. Before we get into that though, I just want to mention the new t-shirts came with a new design. Really pleased with it. Came out nice, high quality print and all the rest of it. If you want to pick one up, if you like the design, head over to the website. Order t-shirts are at cost price. Don't make any money out of it. If you like it, just get one. But if you wear one in a music video, you'll get straight on the channel, no problem. Now, today we've got some cool bands on the channel. The first three bands that we're going to look at are all on a new EP together, although some of the tracks are older on this EP, but the new ones are from Manipulator. The EP is called Suffer and Continue. It says it's an international three-way vinyl split from Manipulator, Mulciber, and STENCH PRICE, spanning from the US to Siberia and back again. These three projects consist of wildly different member makeups. We always talk about that on this channel. It says here, from Manipulator, a one-man project, which we friggin' love, to STENCH PRICE, an international collaboration with countless contributors, to the more standard live four-piece unit, which is Mulciber. So we've got all sorts of stuff in there, all the stuff that we love, one-man bands, international people working together across the internet and stuff like that. Sick. All great stuff. So we're going to kick off with this one. We've got some long tracks today. None of them are like 1 minute blasters. They're all kind of 3 and 4 minute tracks. So here we go. We're going to kick off with Manipulator. I think this is 2 tracks, Coattail, Ouroboros, and Sickening Powder. Let's start off with these guys. Pretty trippy. the bass sounds so amazing. Is that all of it? Yeah, man, I was really into that. Really dope. I love the video for this as well. All the effects and like the real high contrast. You know I love that stuff if you watch this channel. But yeah, dope. You know I love one-man bands on this channel, and I thought this dude is killing it with all the stuff he's got going on in this one. There's lots of ideas going on in the music, which I really enjoyed, and mixing ideas as well, like spreading the effects across the vocals, across your ears and things like that, really in a cool way. So nice. I could hear that he's really thinking about his music and doing a lot of things, not just recording the guitars and the vocals and the drums and that's it. He's doing more once he gets in the mix to make it come across your ear in different ways. The bass tone in this one was so friggin' dope, especially on the solo bass section as well. Really sounded nice, dirty and grisly. And then on the heavier bits, you could just hear it the whole time, even though the guitars were massive sounding as well. Super dope. The only tip I'm going to give for this one is I'd like to hear more of the drums, and I'd like them to be a bit more humanized. It was quite obvious they were MIDI drums, and they sounded like MIDI drums. And that was because I think they just needed a bit more humanization. Now, a lot of MIDI drum VSTs and programs come with that built in nowadays. It's just a button, you press humanize, and all it does is it just like adds a bit of swing, slightly offsets each hit from the actual exactly on the bar kind of thing, on the grid. So it's just got a bit of looseness to it, and it sounds more human because of that. And that was one thing I did think that this was lacking from the drums that made them sound real MIDI. There was loads of cool fills and stuff in there which I really liked, but they just needed to be loosened up. They were a bit too tight, too machine gunny. And I'd like to hear more of the drums as well. Louder drums, more punchy drums, because they were sick, but they were kind of pushed back in the mix, which could be a stylistic choice, but it wouldn't be my stylistic choice because the vocal was sat back in the mix nicely. The guitars and the bass were really up front, and I think the drums needed to be up front as well, not so pushed back, because the vocal created that pushback kind of atmosphere to the music. Dope stuff though, really nice from a one-man band. Very cool. Another band on this one, STENCH PRICE, which is the international band. They've got a long track for us called Rio. It's nearly 6 minutes. Let's give this one a spin.
Corazón, venga,
Man, this one's all over the place. What's going on?
あ、てかさ、見て見て、スッチのバッグゲットしたんだ。可愛くない？やばい、可愛い。どう？似合う？似合う似合う。てか超羨ましいんだけど、どうしたのそれ？なんかさ、男に買ってもらったんだよね。マジ？誰？彼氏？彼氏っていうか、まあなんかよくわかんない男。何それ？超ウケるんだけど。なんかさ、バーで飲んでたらさ、イケメンにナンパされてさ、まあやるじゃん。マジか。いいなー。てか私もスッチのバッグ欲しいんだけど。あ、じゃあさ、今度合コンしようよ。そのイケメン紹介するから。マジマジマジ任せといて。やったー。じゃあ乾杯。乾杯。
This is a Monday grind, by the way, just in case you forgot. Here we go. Is that the end of that one? Yeah, I think so. Nope. Still going. Oh, there you go. Weird track, weird video. Not quite sure what to make of it all. Splicing genres and styles together that you'll never hear again. This is a one-off, but I mean, it was nice. The Rio parts were actually great. Samba or whatever that is. I enjoyed it, but you know, you kind of forget that you're actually meant to be listening to a grindcore track. I'm not sure how well, you know, whether you're going to listen. Some people are going to like that, but in general, if you're a grindcore fan, you're going to like the grinding sections. But I'm not sure you're going to kind of spin this track a whole bunch of times, especially a 6-minute one as well, because of those other sections in there. It's just a kind of one-off thing, that is. Cool though, I enjoyed it, really different. You know, we like different stuff on this channel. The last guys on that EP, the three-way split, are called Mulciber. Their track is called, oh, it might be 2 tracks on this one actually as well, Christ Deceiver, not too sure. Let's give it a spin anyway. we go. I'm not sure we'll get any samba from these guys. Sounds sick. Proper. These guys sounded super fat and heavy. Man, the guitars just sounded so great in this one. The only complaint I'm going to say, and I can't believe I'm actually going to complain about that one because it was super dope. The guitars were so thick and heavy and had that like buzz to them as well, like a dense buzz. And you could hear the bass in the mix, barely, because of the thickness and the size of the guitars. And there was space, I could hear space for them to just bump the bass up a little bit more to kind of compete a bit more with those guitars. And I think it would have just been even heavier because of that. But man, these guys had a nice, fat, heavy sound. I like what they'd done with the drums in this one. The kick was real heavy, but sat in a normal place. But the snare was actually kind of more up front in the mix, higher than it would normally be. And it sounded great. It had a nice kind of piccolo-y tightness to it as well, like a thinness to it as well. And I think because of that, the mixer had kind of brought it up within the mix even more than you normally would, and it kind of raised it up in the way that it sounded. I thought it sounded really dope. The ride as well, absolutely killer. But these guys sounded absolutely dope when they all came together. When that swelling part, when the guitars are just kind of slowly moving, but the drummers doing all the shit and the vocalists, man. Really, really nice. So yeah, hopefully all those bands will start sending over their stuff. If you want to check out the EP, head over to their Bandcamp and you can do that. We've got 2 more bands to check out and some more longer tracks as well still to check out. I thought we'd just pull out long ones today. This is one, Self-Made God, Heretic Plague, Briefcase Full of Cutlery. Let's give this one a spin.
How about the way he holds his knife and fork? Or the way he cuts his meat? Could that be all right? Which serving implement should he use?
Are these guys a two-piece?
Everyone is more at ease now that the party's really started. Having trouble with the serving implements again. Bob is happy now and is proud of himself.
Dope. Oh, these guys are two-piece, man. They're getting the job done nicely for a two-piece band, if that's the case. Doesn't say on here, though, unfortunately. Man, I was thinking the guitarist in this band has got to write a lot of riffs for each track to get the job done. He was riffing out all the way through and a whole different bunch of different stuff in there as well. And like, not just keeping a riff going as well, having a riff and then having an extra little section in it and then coming back to the riff again and then a different section again and then going back to the riff again. That's really nice. You don't hear too many bands doing that nowadays. There was a time there where you heard it more often, but no, seems to have lost its kind of way, that stuff. But I like to hear it. I like to hear it, especially when they're working with the drums as well, where you just kind of split off for 2 bars or 4 bars quickly, and then go back to what you were doing before. You know, just a bit of a schizoid moment within the track. It's really, really dope, especially within the grindcore scene as well, which is where you would hear it. Very, very nice. So hopefully get those guys on the channel more. Oh, wanted to mention obviously the vocals as well. A lot of vocal range, the deepest gutturals and some nice black and fry in there. But because of the way it was EQ'd within the mix, it had a lot of high ends, a lot of bite to it. So even on the deepest of deep gutturals, it still had a lot of high end and scratch and bite to your ears, which is something you wouldn't normally associate with gutturals. So I thought that was pretty cool. The last band we're going to look at today, I'm pretty sure we've seen them before. Elder Devil, dope band. The Burning Forest is the name of the track. Let's get them back on the screen. Here we go. Watch out for the flashing lights. Some nice bass tones today. And seeing pupil sizes there as well. Prosthetic Records are doing very, very nicely. You get some very nice bands on that channel. So if you're not subscribed to them, you're missing out, because it's not just bigger bands as well. You know, they're kind of semi-big bands on that channel is what I would basically say. But they're some of the dopest bands you'll get on that channel. The fresh stuff. I thought these guys had a nice modern edge. They're kind of like a mid-2000s foundation to them, but with a modern edge, if that makes any sense. I thought it sounded dope anyway. Really like the vocal style in that one, kind of power violency, kind of a bit loose and drunken style. Really dope style. You don't hear that too much as well. Very, very nice. And the sickest drumming again. All the bands today, even the bands with just MIDI drummers, have had absolutely sick drumming. And great bass tones as well again today. So there you go. That's it. Back with the Monday grind. I think we've done a long one today. Jesus, half an hour. That's a good length for a Monday grind. So we made it for missing out last week, and a bunch of cool bands with longer tracks as well to check out. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. We'll see you around tomorrow with some more cool bands. But if you want to get your band on the channel, head over to the website, skip the queue and all that jazz. If you're just here for the grind, we'll see you next Monday with some nice grindcore. Hope you had a good one, guys. Cheers. Bye.